huge party in the Pilbara.
The great and the good descended on Fortescue's Solomon Mine near Tom Price. That's ground zero for Operation Gazillionaire. There on the weekend to celebrate 20 years of FMG with champagne, freshly shucked oysters and a rock concert in the middle of the desert.
It just makes it hard to believe.
The star of the show, naturally, was FMG founder turned climate change warrior Andrew Forrest, the only man to wear a cravat at a Jimmy Barnes gig.
700 people, huh?
Many of whom arrived on private or chartered jets. A lot of carbon-intensive jet fuel was burnt to ensure the presence of people such as former Fortescue boss Nev Power, current wanker Eddie Maguire, multiplex heir Tim Roberts and hungry Jack Cowan.
And a few conspicuous absences.
Nicola Forrest, FMG's biggest shareholder and a woman who claims to still be besties with her estranged husband, had a diary conflict.
4,998.
As did Andrew's 3 children. Apparently they did video messages. Kevin Rudd couldn't be there to help. He sent his own vid, which was more lively than his last one.
Mate, this is just impossible.
But still cringy. He apparently called Andrew the twig star.
You know what I mean? It's just...
Former British PM Tony Blair sent a message because he couldn't get there because of a previous engagement, as did Boris Johnson, who was also tied up. There was even a message from Gene Simmons from KISS. What is that about?
Bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars of commerce.
Not being there was actually a blessing in disguise because it meant they didn't have to endure the irony of multi-millionaire former Federal Treasurer Joe Hockey singing Working Class Man by Barnesy. Or hear MC for the night, Nick the Honey Badger Cummins, refer to the Fortescue founder as the Big Twig.
He seems like a cool guy.
Cynicism aside, 20 years is a big achievement.
Worthy of a party. It's been a hell of a ride. Fortescue's now firmly in the ASX top 20, but in the early noughties, it was just a preposterously ambitious idea.
Pipe dreams are good.
Breaking the duopoly of Rio and BHP was considered impossible, but Forrest did it. Even when he got that first shipment of iron ore safely to China, the naysayers were still saying it wouldn't last. He'd done everything on the cheap, they said, and the pit-to-port infrastructure would collapse when put to the test.
But it didn't.
Then when iron ore went below $40 a tonne during the GFC, everyone said the company would go bankrupt. But it survived and continued to spit out absurd amounts of money, which Twiggy needs right now because he's about to cut a $14 billion cheque for Nicola, and is going to need to have every corporate recruitment agency on retainer because of the revolving door that leads to his company's executive offices.
Including the new CEO.
Saturday night, Fiona Hicks partying with the board. Sunday morning, she's iced. How's that for a hangover? Less than 6 months in the job. Interesting wording in the ASX statement said her exit was a joint decision with the Fortescue board, which is like the company saying, it's not you, it's me, but it's also you.
No.
Her departure was described as friendly and mutual.
You look sceptical.
I am. A joint decision suggests it wasn't solely Fiona's decision, and if it wasn't solely Fiona's decision, then I doubt very much that she found the offboarding experience friendly and mutual.
Well, what do you think happened?
Well, it's well known that Andrew's a hands-on chairman. That happens when you create a company from nothing. Nev Power and Liz Gaines seem to have been able to handle that for a while, but the new generation is struggling.
Not just execs leaving.
Dozens of workers were sacked for breaching the company's code of conduct over the past year. FMG's sustainability report shows the miner investigated 160 potential breaches. That's close to double last year's, 67 of which were substantiated and 56 people were shown the door. Many allegations of sexual harassment and bullying.
Yeah, it's a scandal.
Oh, it's a real one, not like this.
Faithful toilet.
The WACA urinal controversy, or Pissgate as I'm hoping it will become known as,
Catchy.
has entered its 4th day. WACA boss Christina Matthews is annoying a great many members of the storied association. First, by showing a complete lack of respect by being a woman, then by having the audacity to be gay and not having the manners to hide it, and now by taking away the old boys' piss troughs. It emerged last week that the gents in a soon-to-be refurbished area of the furnace will only have cubicles. This was seen as wokeism gone mad by many members of the West Australian Cricket Association, many of whom appear to be letter writers to the West Australian newspaper.
Where do you stand?
I stand wherever I can take a piss the fastest. I don't care if it's a bowl, a urinal, a tree, or the back left-hand tyre of my car.
Yuck.
But this is a battle that Christina Matthews doesn't need right now. The old guard want her out, and this is another thing they can get hysterical about. I do find it curious, however, that the people complaining loudest about the no urinal decision are the people most likely to need a cubicle. Have you seen the average age of the WACA membership?
Prostate's flaring up like a frickin' tiki torch.
And if you've got a shy bladder, why wouldn't you prefer the privacy behind a closed door?
That's what I'm talking about!
I'm Ben Harvey. For more update, click the subscribe button below.